Hello and welcome to the free digital product course for beginners. I'm Dupay and I am super excited to be guiding you through this journey. Today we're going to be diving into brainstorming your very first digital product idea. This isn't just a lecture, it's actually a hands-on workshop. So right now I'm going to ask you to go ahead and download any resources linked in the description area as well as a notebook. Let's go ahead and get started. So in this first segment, we're going to be diving into clarifying what digital products are. So digital products are intangible assets that you can create once and then sell repeatedly online without the need of physical inventory as well as shipping costs. So here are some examples. Number one, ebooks. This is where you share your expertise or your stories in a downloadable format. Number two, online courses. This is where you teach a skill or subject through video lessons. Number three, templates. Provide ready-to-use documents or designs. And the third example is printables. This is where you offer planners, worksheets, or arts where the customers can then print at home. And number five, audio files. Sell music, tracks, meditations, or even podcasts. The beauty of digital products lies in their scalability and low overhead costs. The moment you create them, they generate income for you continuously. For example, consider an online course. You invest time upfront to create valuable content, but once it's live, you continuously generate income without additional effort. This model allows you to focus on refining your offerings and spending time engaging with your audience rather than constantly trading your time for money. Now let's go ahead and jump into our first interactive prompt. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to pause your video. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down all the digital products that you have purchased or used, and this is going to spark some ideas of some of the digital products that you might create. Welcome to interactive prompt number one. So in this interactive prompt, you're going to take a moment to write down any digital products that you have purchased or used. So for example, I have here written that I've purchased or used online courses. I purchased or used templates, swipe copy, guides, audio files, master classes, ebooks, as well as printables. So right now, I want you to take your time and write down anything that comes to mind, and then go ahead and meet me back in segment two, where we're going to be discussing the benefits of creating digital products. Welcome back. So now that you have written down all the digital products that you have purchased or used, now I want you to start thinking about why you should consider creating a digital product. So here are some compelling reasons. Reason number one, passive income. You can earn money while you're not actively working. Reason number two, flexibility. Work from anywhere and set your own schedule. Number three, creative expression. So share your knowledge, passions, and skills with a broader audience. And reason number four, low startup costs. So very often, all you need is a computer and internet connection. One of the reasons why I also love digital products is they offer scalability. You can create them one time and then you can sell them infinitely. I also love the global reach aspect. Anyone, anywhere, at any time can purchase your digital product. This is literally the business model that works for you even when you're not working. Whether you're a fitness coach, graphic designer, or business consultant, you can package your knowledge into a format that's valuable and accessible to others. Let's go ahead and jump into our next interactive prompt. Welcome to interactive prompt number two. This is where you're going to reflect on which of these benefits that I just covered resonate with you most and why. And then you're going to go ahead and write them down in your notebook. So for example, I have here that I highlighted passive income because that resonates with me most. This is where you earn money even when you're not actively working. So for me, it allows me to spend more time with my friends and family, travel, as well as invest in hobbies and self-care. So the second one that I highlighted was flexibility. So you can work anywhere and you can set your own schedule. Now, this allows me not to have to miss out on family gatherings due to having to be in a stationary type of position. It also gives me time to take off and any breaks if I need them. And then the third one that really resonated was the creative expression. So this is where you're able to share your knowledge, your skills, or your passions with a broader audience. Now, I love educating. My bachelor's degree and one of my first teaching credentials that I got was in education. So for me, my background is in education. I love educating, I love sharing, and I love motivating others. So these three are very important for me. Now I want you to go ahead and do the same in your notebook. Now, before we dive into our next segment, I would really like to share a little bit about my journey. So in 2024, when I relaunched my business, Davi Creative, God really called me to build a kingdom business. And our purpose became very clear: to help faith-driven entrepreneurs package their God-given knowledge into digital products, scale with automation, and really build a business that's rooted in Christ. This clarity I have never experienced before. So I remember the first time I created a digital product for online entrepreneurs. This was around 2018, where I created a simple simple ebook that explained how to create course curriculum. Now, the response was overwhelming because what happened was that led to people actually purchasing my course, Curriculum Construction. In addition to that, I built an online community that really resonated with my message, and it was at that moment that I understood the power of digital products. Now, before we go ahead and jump into segment 3, where we're going to be identifying your skills and passions, I would like to go ahead and cover some misconceptions about digital products. So the first misconception is I need to be tech savvy. Now, while some technical skills do help, a lot of these platforms are very user friendly for beginners, and they also offer support. So the second misconception is I need a large audience. Let me tell you this, starting with a small engaged audience is way more effective than having a large passive one. And I know this from example. I have over 430,000 followers across 4 platforms. Now, what happened was when I pivoted my niche into the digital marketing space, my audience became very passive. So it's almost like I'm starting from scratch. The key is to build an audience that wants to learn from you. So the third misconception is I need to be an expert. I honestly believe that sharing your unique experiences and perspectives can provide immense value for your community, even if you're not the top expert in your field. Understanding these misconceptions can help you approach digital product creation with confidence and clarity. Now we can jump into self-discovery to uncover potential digital product ideas. Exercise number 1 is skills inventory. This is where you're going to list 5 to 10 skills that you possess. So these can be professional skills, hobbies, or even life experiences. Exercise number 2, passion points. Identify topics or activities that you're passionate about. So what do you love discussing or teaching others? Exercise number 3, problem solving. Think about problems that you've solved for yourself or others. These solutions can then be transformed into digital products. At this time, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and complete the exercises and take your time to reflect deeply. Now that you've paused the video, let's go ahead and complete the exercises together. So right now we're going to start on exercise 1, which is skills inventory. So this is where you need to list 5 to 10 skills that you possess, and they can be professional skills, hobbies, or even life experiences. So let's go ahead and take a look at my list. I listed 15. You don't have to list 15, but I just kind of got out of hand. All right. So the first thing that I listed was communication, public speaking. I have the gift of gab, leadership, time management, organization, empathy, problem solving, creativity, emotional intelligence, networking, negotiation, critical thinking, and then I jumped into some hobbies like painting, cooking healthy meals, and board games, puzzles, and cards. And I would probably even add gardening now. That's a new hobby that I picked up. So go ahead and complete exercise 1, and then we're going to jump into exercise 2. So pause the video if you need some time. Let's go ahead and start exercise 2. So exercise 2, we're going to be covering your passion points, all right? This is where you need to identify topics or activities that you are actually passionate about. So what do you love discussing or even teaching others? Let's go ahead and take a look at my list, for example. So what I listed first was faith. That's what I'm passionate about, and I always post faith inspirational videos on my social media platforms. Online entrepreneurship, I love discussing that. I love teaching and coaching, starting, building, and scaling a small business. I love teaching and coaching and creating digital products. Also, business automation and tools, content creation, building a personal brand. When I first got into motivational speaking, that was one of my topics for my keynote speeches. I also love sharing social media marketing, productivity tips, video producing, so filming and editing, as well as public speaking, goal setting, and finding one's purpose. So these are all of my passion points. Everything that you see content-wise on social media or everything that I've done as a business, it all aligns with one of these listed. So go ahead and take your time to complete exercise 2, pause the video, and when you're finished, go ahead and meet me for exercise 3. All right, so now exercise 3 is going to be problem solving. So I want you to start thinking about some of the problems that you solved for yourself as well as others. Now, these can be solutions that you can often transform into a digital product. So when I sat down to do this activity with you all, I thought of these 4 things. So how to create a course curriculum from scratch. One of my very first digital products that I created was a curriculum called Curriculum Construction, where I taught small business owners and entrepreneurs, mainly speakers and coaches and consultants, how to package their knowledge into a digital course. All right. So that was a great product. It sold a lot, and that's what really got me into the market of creating digital products. Now, the second thing I have on my list is how to create digital products that sell. This is something that I'm doing now with my course, Knowledge to Products, also known as KTP. Another thing that I have on my list is how to build a personal brand through videos. Now, that was one of my signature speeches. That's been a masterclass that I've taught for many years. I've been asked to speak on other people's stages about this. So that is something that I tend to go back to teaching, how to build your online community, because that is important when you want to start selling digital products. Another thing that I have, that a problem that I've solved, is how to build and scale a business while staying rooted in your faith. So, how are you going to build a kingdom business as well as it being profitable, but staying rooted in your faith? So, those are some problem solving things that I do for my community. So, now that you kind of see an example of what is needed for exercise 3, go ahead and pause the video and take your time to complete it, and then meet me in the next segment. Welcome back. With your skills and passions outlined, let's now brainstorm potential digital products. So the method that I'm going to be using today is called mind mapping. So what is mind mapping? Mind mapping is where you place a skill or passion at the center of the page. Then you're going to branch out with related subtopics, challenges, or questions that people might have. And then finally, you're going to consider what resources or tools can help address these challenges. So for example, let's go ahead and look at my example mind map right now. So what I have here in the center of my page, okay, because you're going to place a skill or passion at the center. So let's pretend I'm a photographer. I'm going to have my skill photography in the center of the page. Then I'm going to go ahead and branch out with related subtopics, challenges, or questions people might have. So for example, photography, my audience might have questions about beginner camera settings. They may also have questions about editing techniques or digital camera options. I know I do, okay? And then also lighting setups. So now that I've covered the topic in the middle, and I've also branched out some of the subtopics or challenges or even questions, now I'm going to start considering what resources or tools that I could create to help address these challenges. So let's go ahead and look at my mind map. So for beginner camera settings, I might be able to create a guide to manual camera settings, okay? So let's look at editing techniques. I might create a Lightroom preset pack. For digital camera options, I might create a checklist on factors to consider when choosing the right camera. And then finally, when it comes to lighting setups, I might create an online course on natural lighting. So right now, what I want you to do is go ahead and you're going to start interactive prompt number 4, which is you're going to create your own mind map. So this is where you're going to explore various angles and potential products stemming from your central skill or passion. Now you can create many mind maps if you want, if you have multiple skills to see which one resonates most, or you can create one skill and one passion. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now that you've finished brainstorming, it's now time to evaluate your ideas. To evaluate your ideas, we are going to be looking at certain criteria. So the first criteria that we are going to be looking at is demand. Is there an audience interested in the topic that you want to create products around? Okay, so we want to make sure that there's a demand for it. The second criteria is the expertise. Do you have sufficient knowledge or experience in the topic that you want to create a digital product around? This is very important, all right? So the third criteria is passion. Are you excited to create and share this product? You really want to be excited and passionate about the topics that you are creating digital products around. And then the fourth criteria is feasibility, okay? Can you realistically create this product with your current resources? So when you're looking at all these criterias, your goal is to say yes, 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 yes for all the criteria. Now, once you've done that, you are going to jump into our final interactive activity. What you're going to do is you're going to then go review and brainstorm the ideas against these criteria. And then you're going to select the one idea that stands out as the most viable and exciting for you. Go ahead and get started. If you've completed all the steps in this video, congratulations on identifying your very first digital product idea. Now, if you still need more time to complete the steps, no worries, take your time. Congratulations on just getting started. In the next video, we're going to be exploring how to validate this idea so that you can ensure that there's a market for it. So here's what I need you to do next. Download the brainstorming worksheet if you haven't done so already. Share your chosen idea in the comments below. Let's go ahead and support each other on this journey. And finally, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next workshop. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Your journey starts now, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way.